Greetings of the day. I am Dr. SAKTHEESWAR VB, Assistant Professor in the Department of English and Foreign Languages, MITS, Andhra Pradesh. Here I am to explain about the wonderful prose written by O. Henry. The title is The Gift of Magi. And to talk about O. Henry, is a wonderful writer, an American writer, and he has written several stories. He always touches the hearts of middle class family people, and he has written more than 600 stories, mostly on American life, and the stories are always humorous and ironic. Here he brings out two major characters of this story. One is Della, another is James. Della is called as Della Dillingham Hing, and James is called as James Dillingham Hing. So they call Della and Jim. So we go on with Della. Adela is a wonderful housewife who struggles to meet the both ends, and it's Eve of Christmas, so they are ready to celebrate Christmas. And Della is always sad, and she's worried about the money left over to buy a present for Jim. On the other hand, Jim is a wonderful husband, is a good natured, and truly loves his wife, and he also is struggling in his middle class life. So both are very deep in their love and affection for each other. These two married couple are portraying a wonderful subject through this lesson, The Gift of Magic. The story begins the day before Christmas, as I told you earlier, the eve of Christmas. This young woman, Della, is counting her savings, and she could find very low amount, which is not at all sufficient for her to buy a prize for Jim. In this lesson, in this book, they have given a wonderful quote. She says, "Her Jim." This From this we could understand that she loves and takes care of her husband more than anything in this world. And the couple has fallen on hard times and now live in a poverty. Earlier they had a very good life, but now they are struggling a lot. And for them, this Christmas would be something different because of money that is not that much enough for them to buy a present. And she is hoping to buy Jim something very special. And Jim, on the other hand, is also planning to buy something for her. And the day comes, she's standing near to a window and staring at the gray cat, and she starts crying, understanding the situation of her family. She stops crying and cleans up the face and looks at the window with lot of hopes and thoughts, and she suddenly glimpses to the mirror and finds that she would do something to buy a present for Jim. She has a very long hair, and she looks at it for a while, and she understands that this beautiful hair is a wonderful prized possession. She suddenly puts over her old coat, hat, and visits the shops to sell her hair to buy a present for Jim. She runs through the street and finds a shop. The shopkeeper, Madame Suffering, agrees to cut and buy Della's hair. Della spends the rest of her day going around the city looking for a perfect gift for Jim. On the other hand, Jim is having a gold pocket watch which was given by his father as a present, and is keeping it safe in his arms always. And whenever he comes out with this duty and time, he always finds it difficult that he could not buy a gift for Jim, for Della. Here, Della and Jim are eventually loving each other, and they wanted to buy each other a present. But the problem is Jim is not having enough money, and Della, on the other hand, is also not having enough money. But they do purchase wonderful gold pocket watch, and the other hand, Della is having a very long brown hair. So, what happens? Della on the streets wanted to buy a present for Jim, eventually finds a perfect platinum fob chain for Jim, and she spends all the savings to buy a present for Jim. And Della is very excited and happy to give this present to Jim. When Della gets home, she feels very tired because she's already mentally weak for not having enough money to celebrate Christmas. On the other hand, she's a little bit happy that she has sold her hair and bought a present for Jim. But her worry is like, will Jim be angry seeing her without her pretty hair? And every day, Jim comes at 7. On that day, too, Jim arrives at 7. Della is in her home waiting for Jim. And Jim comes over and gives a strange look on Della, and she doesn't know how to react. And slowly, she explains why she has sold her hair on this beautiful day. She says that you are important than the hair, and giving a present is more important than anything which I have. My hair will grow anyway, and that's why I sold my hair and bought a present for you. On the other hand, Jim was also very happy. Jim hugs her and tells her, dear, I too have a present for you, and it is a set of jeweled tortoiseshell combs which she was longing for many years for a long hair. Della loves the present, but she bursts into tears when she realizes that it is not of use. And on the other hand, she is asking Jim to give his hand so that he would she would place the platinum fob chain for the gold watch, and it would look prettier for Jim. But it's of no use. And finally, the writer narrates or concludes the story by praising the couple for their selfless gifts of love. Jim is presenting her a tortoise-shelled comb, and Della is presenting a uh, platinum fob chain to Jim. These are a wonderful gift by each other. And the narrator says that even they are wiser than the wise Magi who brought gifts to their baby Jesus on the first Christmas Eve. Always they used to during Christmas they used to exchange gifts. So it was wonderful that they have exchanged gifts. Here in this lesson, we have seen that Della and Jim, who are living in a middle class family apartment, they are in love with each other, a wonderful married couple. They wanted to exchange gifts for their marriage, so for their Christmas as a present. And later on, what happens is like she is saving little by little for him, and he is also very happy to spend money for her. Here we need to talk about the values. The values is very important here. Della's hair and Jim's watch both symbolizes their individual ideas of what the valuable is. Della's pride in her hair and more valuable than Queen Shiva's jewels. Similarly, the description of Jim's watch is an object even King Solomon would envy, reveals how much worth it is. They both are attached to each other, though they are living in a very calm, quiet, middle class family life. Their love is more than a, a wonderful apartment. So it's not about the materials that bring love to each other. It is about their valuable assets they have as love and affection for each other. And the both characters are given equal importance in this lesson, and it is a treasured possession to please others, prove that they each value most is their happiness, not the materials. The materialistic happiness is for a time being, but their happiness is always on affection for each other. And this lesson is taken from the Pathfinder. It's a communicative English for undergraduate students. It's a textbook which comes under semester one. And we would like to, um, when we read these lessons, we would have come across many beautiful things, many beautiful sentences by Ho Henry. One such as here in this lesson, she has saved $1.87 to present to buy a present for Jim. On the other hand, Jim is holding his watch for years and years and is ready to sell his watch to Dilla. Here, the author brings out the happiness they have when selling out their wonderful possessions to buy the gift for their love. Dilla looks like a boy after her haircut, and she never bothers about it. She's happy that even though she looks like a boy because of her haircut, she's happy that she has but something very important, which is very which would always give happiness to Jim. And Jim never thought about his gold watch that his father, grandfathers have gifted him. He's never bothering about it, and he wanted to make his wife feel happy on the day of Christmas. So this happiness is shared by selling their wonderful possessions. And we also have a wonderful message in this lesson, that is, though they are living a middle class family life, though they are poor, though they don't have enough money to buy a present for each other, they always have the happiness of being together, the love of being together, and they always understand each other. And Jim never finds fault in Della selling her hair, or Della doesn't find fault in selling her hair for Jim, or Della doesn't feel sad for Jim selling his watch for her. All these are interrelated happiness that they show in this lesson. And it tells us, like, though we are from a poor family or a poor background, although we are not able to buy anything, although we are not able to save money to celebrate Christmas, although we are not happy not having enough money to buy materials, but the understanding between our family is more important than anything else. This lesson again proves that we are family bonded. We need to be happy with the family. We need to understand all the members of the family. We need to prove that materialistic happiness is not important. We need to always prove that love and affection for each other is very important. So, thank you for this wonderful time.